Welcome to Downtown Now. Thanks for joining us. I am Aaron Nolan.
I'm Dana Schlegenhaft, and this is one growing city.
There is no doubt about it. I think the stat right now is 30 people a day move to Northwest Arkansas.
Did you know?
Ooh.
Yes, that as the population in Bentonville continues to grow, so does our city's diversity. Downtown Bentonville Incorporated partnered with the city of Bentonville to host the second annual Bentonville Together as a celebration of the differences that bind us. More than 1,000 people packed Orchards Park to see musical performances, dances, cultural clothing from India, Jamaica, Ireland, the Philippines, and many, many more. It was a very cool event. Your family was there. My family was there as well.
I loved seeing all the families there, cultures they don't understand, they don't know, but they were able to be all as one.
Yep.
Worldwide, there are 1 billion Hindus. It's a religion that's also right here in Northwest Arkansas. I recently was asked to join them for a service, and I found something that is here in Bentonville that not even Asia has.
With a small sign on Rainbow Curve, this Hindu temple shares its uniqueness.
There is no such a structure anywhere, even in India also.
It's unmistakable as soon as you turn into the parking lot. A towering sculpture over pillars of gold plaques.
That is called Gita Stupa. We built recently about 5 years ago, which is by its own unique features. It is the first one in the entire world.
Now inside the temple, for most here in Northwest Arkansas, this is a unique sight. But for natural state Hindus, it's a normal part of life.
We are watching the Abhishekam. It is one of the services that we do to God, like washing off the God with various things like milk, fruits, fruit juices, honey, etc. It is a way of worshipping God.
A service led by the chief priest, who's been in Bentonville for 2 decades. And with every passing year, or the numerous Hindu festivals, Swami Ji knows growth is not only happening in this city, but in his congregation as well.
I have been seeing here this growth for last 20 years. This entire community was so welcoming, and we haven't come across any kind of discrimination, and everyone was so warm and welcome to each and every aspect that we have been celebrating here. Because of Walmart and other companies, the population increased, and it is now in a very, very grand scale. We are celebrating every festival.
And the stats back this up. According to a diversity report from July of 2022, the Asian population in Bentonville is the second highest base and is expected to be the fastest growing population in our city by 2026. Bentonville Schools also has the highest Asian enrollment in our region, and the top languages outside English and Spanish at the school district are all Indian languages. At a recent festival at the Hindu Association of Northwest Arkansas, nearly 1,500 attended.
I'm here for the past 3 years in the United States, but for the past 2 years I'm seeing a lot of Indian community here.
As worldwide talent comes to Arkansas, those with Hindu beliefs will find a temple to welcome them. They'll also find a sculpture you can only find in Bentonville.
They come from all the way, different corners of this country and from India in a small village. It is a small village, but when they found something so connecting to them, they get more excited and they get more involved in this.
When I left the Hindu Association of Northwest Arkansas, I was offered a plate of food. I wasn't there as a worshiper, I was there as a worker. It shows me that sometimes, even despite our cultural differences, we're people. We can still be together.
There's a lot that brings us together.
Absolutely.
All right, well, Chris Thompson moved to Bentonville to start his startup, grow his startup right here in the heartland. His app is called Sober Sidekick, and it encourages others to build a future beyond the grips of addiction and start their comeback story today.
I woke up on the sidewalk for around the 4th day in a row, and it was Thanksgiving Day. It was raining in California, which it never rains in California. And I woke up shaking and, in a panic and just this feeling of absolute demoralization, wondering how the hell I got here.
On a rainy California morning, Chris Thompson woke up.
I used to be a college student, I used to be a college athlete, I used to have all these dreams. Like, how did I end up on the street in LA with nowhere to go?
It was Thanksgiving Day 2018, and on that wet LA sidewalk, Chris took a hard look at his life and made a decision. That day would be the first day of his comeback story.
That's where a thought popped into my mind that I've heard said before, which is, it's not about whose fault any situation is, it's about whether or not you're going to take responsibility. Because I spent so much of my life blaming circumstances, blaming others, blaming myself for my inability to stop drinking and my inability to stop these self-destructive behaviors.
Self-destructive behaviors fueled by the grips of addiction that left Chris and others broken.
I've had the experience of calling 911, doing CPR and it working, and I've had the experience of calling 911, doing CPR and it not working, and it being too late. And the thing I've recognized, for those friends that I've had along this journey who are no longer here, is they died because they thought they were alone.
As day 1 turned into day 30, and then day 60, Chris began to overcome his addiction and turned his focus to helping others not feel so isolated. He built an app in his garage called Sober Sidekick to support those battling addiction by offering connection driven by an empathy algorithm.
Immediately day 1, there weren't many users. We didn't have money to promote it. We didn't have many resources. We didn't have many users, but they were all supporting each other as a result of empathy algorithm. And that's when we knew this was something we're scaling. That's when we knew this was something, to put all of our effort into.
The app grew as thousands of users joined the platform, and Sober Sidekick began generating revenue through paid partnerships with treatment centers. Facilities paid a flat monthly rate to be promoted on the platform.
It was very easy to generate that initial revenue. We 10x'd our revenue in like 6 months. But what we found is that the only way to scale it would be to compromise our bottom line, which is the long-term success of our members.
Sober Sidekick co-founders ended up walking away from that model because it meant the growth of their company was reliant on members' return to treatment.
That meant our company would be forever tied to our members relapsing, or our members going to treatment multiple times. And for us, that just was not what we were in it for.
Instead, they focused on building strategic partnerships with those who benefited from sustained recovery and health of Sober Sidekick members, like health insurers, employers, and veteran support organizations. Chris recently relocated to Bentonville to grow his startup in the heartland.
The opportunity to form, the right kinds of partnerships and connect with the right kind of people quickly and efficiently with less noise. It was just here. This is a town where I've noticed that, people tend to do what they say they're going to do, and, more often than not be who they say they are. And, recognize the fact that the area has recognized the need for, holistic health and impact-driven focuses. It just led to so much opportunity cost and FOMO in my mind, where it was just like, how can we not move here?
And as the startup continues to grow, Chris and his team witness more users breaking the cycle of addiction and encouraging others to do the same through Sober Sidekick.
And that's the amazing part about these comeback stories that are happening in real time within our community, is they have a dramatic butterfly effect. It's more kids growing up with a mom. It's more people completing their degrees and going on to what they intend to be. It's just more people living life and experiencing life on life's terms. And that's our goal, that's our mission.
To learn about Chris, Sober Sidekick, and his business partners, just head to sobersidekick.com.
I recently was asked to be a part of a really cool organization here in Northwest Arkansas. It was a fly fishing film festival.
Who would have thought? Right here.
I did not think until I showed up at Thayton Field. Take a look at some of this video. Van Winkle Adventures took over an airplane hangar for a film festival about catching trout. This is an annual film event that focuses on storytelling about fly fishing. It featured a selection of films highlighting the various aspects of fly fishing adventures and of course focusing on the great outdoors, which we have a lot of here in Bentonville. During this year's event, the Van Winkle Adventures gave away some amazing things and also highlighted some of what we have here as far as nonprofits. It was an amazing night. I was lucky enough to MC this event, and I'll tell you what, Dana, it was packed.
Sounded like a fun one.
It was.
I'm sure you had a blast.
I gotta learn how to fly fish now.
Well, if you want to learn how to cook, stay tuned because we have a culinary themed downtown conversation with our friend, Chef Matt Cooper.
Looking forward to it.
What happens when you get two amazing chefs together in one kitchen? Well, not only culinary magic, but also very interesting conversation about our city and about being a chef in downtown Bentonville. The insanely talented Chef Matt Cooper from Conifer and Chef Sam Diaz of Il Barretto join forces in this foodie-focused downtown conversation.
What's up?
Hey Chef, how's it going?
going?
It's good to see you.
You too.
Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it. It's fun to have you always come and stopping by. You're no stranger to coming to Conifer, and
It's right down the street.
Yeah, and I love that we're so close.
Yeah.
Right downtown, where everything is. So what do you love most about downtown? I was wondering.
With the new chefs coming back into town or coming into town, we're all getting a sense of togetherness and wanting to help each other out. And yeah, farmers markets right down there, having a good communication with your local farmer. Like it's all pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I love the farmers market. I go every Saturday, and I just like run through with my big buggy and like grab everything I can if I need some stuff to run some specials and
for
things
sure.
like that. All right, Chef. So we got everything ready. We've got. Tell me again what kind of lamb this is.
This is lamb shoulder.
Okay.
From Hannah Farms, which I'm
Okay.
sure you use them.
Oh, I love
plenty.
the Hannahs. They're local here. We love those. You got some, looks like some arugula from Valines Farms, and a little bit of garlic. You got some just some regular white rice butter. This jardiniere, that's the Italian pickled vegetables.
Yeah.
And we like that because
it's a great accent to any dish. If you want anything salty or something more acidic, maybe even spicy, it depends on either what you buy or what you make.
Okay.
So good little mix of and crunch.
And we
actually.
can get all these ingredients. Well, you can actually buy a really good mix
Yes.
if you wanted to do a quick shortcut.
Exactly.
Or you've got cauliflower, carrots, fennel, a little
And
chili,
some peppers, yeah.
and some peppers, and you can get most of that stuff at the farmers market.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And a little bit of Dijon, and then this is our.
That's marjoram.
It's our marjoram.
Yes.
Okay. And then parsley.
And then oregano.
And then oregano.
Yeah.
And I would assume too that if you wanted to throw some mint in there, you could.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay.
lamb and mint are just
Okay.
hand in hand.
All right, great. Well, let's get into how we do this marinade real quick.
Here we're gonna have a couple tablespoons of the Dijon mustard.
And that's really just because it has that acidic component.
Then
Got
we'll
your garlic.
add some garlic. Don't be shy of garlic.
No,
Always.
never, especially raw garlic. Oh my God, you'll be
Exactly.
like, oh, should you cook that? Cook that before you put it in? No,
No.
that raw garlic.
Exactly.
Good.
All right, then we're gonna chop up some parsley. You never over chop your parsley, especially with this dish. You kind of want all those oils to come out while you're grilling them.
While you're grilling. So
Yeah.
if you chopped them too fine, then they would be muddled and
Exactly.
you'd kind of lose it. Great.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Same thing with the oregano. You just want a couple pinches in there, rough chop it. So then you're gonna get a neutral oil, canola. I know you use grapeseed.
Yeah, we use
oil
grapeseed
here.
or avocado for sure.
Yeah, awesome. And then you just give this a little stir up. We'll get some black pepper in here. And then we'll add a couple handfuls if you want to throw that in here.
Yeah, that smells great.
30 minutes should be a good
Oh, to marinate
marinate
it?
time. Yeah.
Okay, because it's so thin, right?
Exactly.
Now,
It's
if you did
thin.
like a chunk, if you did like a cubes or something like that, because you couldn't slice it that thin, because you normally want to freeze it a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then slice it.
Yeah.
Then if you did cubes, you probably marinate it a little bit longer.
A little
to
bit
get
longer,
to the
yeah.
center.
But yeah.
All right, cool. So we're just
this
gonna
is
let
ready.
this sit, and then we're gonna grill it
Grill
up.
it up.
Tell me, like, what inspired Barretto? Like, you know.
What inspired
Because
Barretto?
it's you and your two sisters, right?
Yes. So it's me and my sisters. When I was in New York, me and my second oldest sister, we always thought about trying to translate what we grew up with, how we eat
Right.
to this community.
Okay.
We were so far away. Like, I was in New York, she was here, my other sister was in Miami. So like, why not bring us all into one spot and try to live that dream together?
I love that.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
okay, so we grilled this up really quick. Didn't take long.
Yes, did not take long at
Okay.
all. And you kind of want to let the lamb really stay on the grill as long as possible.
Okay.
So it can get that nice char mark on there. So while we're waiting for the rice to heat up, they're just still gonna be chilling on a nice little warm spot.
Okay. And for the rice, like the way that I heat up rice is I'll cook it. You can use a rice cooker. You can do the
whole finger method.
the finger method
Yeah.
to the first line, 7 minutes, and then turn it off and let it sit. But we've got a little bit of vegetable stock here. You
Okay.
can use salted water as well. We're just gonna put a little bit in there. We're gonna put the rice in, and then I don't know who doesn't love butter, so we put a few pats of butter, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll get some salt as well. Do you want to put some pepper in this, Chef?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love pepper.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I live by it.
So we're just gonna bring this down until the butter's melted.
Yep.
It basically hydrates it back up. All right, so we've got that. That rice is almost done. The butter's melted.
Awesome. I'm gonna
Let's,
take this lamb off.
All right, Chef, we've got everything ready.
Yeah,
What else?
we
What else
got
do
it.
we need to do to bring this together?
We just need to dress this salad real quick.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what kind of vinaigrettes do you like with this?
I am partial to a lemon vinaigrette, just once again, more acidity. I think you have here like a roasted grape.
Yeah, there's a roasted grape vinaigrette. I did that because the sweetness and the acid
Yeah.
kind of plays with the lamb, but you want the acid to cut through the fat of the lamb. And the arugula you chose, I'm assuming, just because of like the spiciness
Exactly,
of it, the
peppery.
Right, exactly.
Yes. You always want to salt your salad.
Right, because you want it to be seasoned, right?
Exactly.
You always want to think what kind of greens that you're using too, because some greens just completely disintegrate. I'll grab this and I'll put some rice
plating.
on our plate for us.
You never want to, you just want to lightly toss your salad because you don't want to bruise the arugula.
All right, so we've got our
So
rice in
get the
there.
rice. We're going to get the lamb. We'll just put it right on the side here.
Okay.
We'll do the greens on one side.
Okay. I love this. It's like a just like a really good like different take on a rice bowl, right?
Exactly. Then just some veggies. You should be good to go.
Look at that, isn't that great?
That's it,
You got your protein. You've got a really good rice. You got some pickled vegetables,
And you got some nice local greens.
local greens.
Sweetness, tart, gamey. You can't go wrong with that.
I love that. You got the
Yeah.
perfect balance.
Yeah.
That's good. Chef, thank you so much for coming over and hanging
Yeah,
out
of
with me.
course.
I love seeing you. I'm sure I'll see you again really soon.
Yeah.
Like I said, but so great to have you in the kitchen and have some fun. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Thank you.
every time, anytime you want.
Appreciate you.
All right, cool.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man.
And make sure to check out Conifer and El Barreto, both right here in downtown Bentonville. Up next, if you're a kid, there's nothing better than First Friday on the Bentonville Square. We're going to show you the fun that they had next.
There is something special about First Friday on the downtown Bentonville Square. When I moved from Chicago several years ago, my kids constantly ask me, is it Friday yet?
Oh yeah.
Is it Friday yet?
Those are questions you hear around this city because it's a pretty magical time to be right here in downtown Bentonville.
It is, and we're gonna prove it right now as Chandler Harris, who is behind this camera,
Hey Chandler.
joins us and helps us find out what kids think about First Friday while at a First Friday.
Amazing.
What's your name?
Lindy,
Lindy, what is your favorite thing so far that you've seen here at First Friday?
I like doing the craft over at the science place.
Art Fest is pretty special, isn't it? What is your name? You gotta tell me your name.
Shy,
What's your favorite thing about First Friday? What about stylish sunglasses? What about free stuff? What about balloons? What about candy?
ice cream.
Ice cream! Finally, we got ice cream. That's a good one, Shy. Good job. High five. All right. What is your favorite thing about First Friday?
The free stuff.
What's the best thing you've gotten so far at Art Fest?
Sunglasses?
You want to trade me my sunglasses for those?
Sure.
No, I'm not doing that. No! What's your favorite thing about traveling From Agrabah all the way to Bentonville.
Obviously the magic carpet.
Where's the magic carpet?
It's invisible.
An invisible magic carpet only at First Friday. Cole, what is your favorite thing about First Friday?
Bumping jumps.
What in the world is that?
A bumping thing.
Emma, what's your favorite thing about First Friday?
The dogs.
What do you think about dogs being at First Friday?
They're just cute. All the dogs are cute at First Friday.
Oh, can you believe what that kid said?
Kids say the darndest things.
They always do every time they get a microphone in front of them.
Sometimes Aaron says the darndest things
I
too.
do.
So you'll have to stay tuned next Sunday at 10:30 to see what Aaron has to say next week.
Who knows? We'll find out next week. See ya.
The sun is 93 million miles away. The least we can do is give it a warm welcome each morning.